Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible, visible to all of you? Yes, everyone. Very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to the platform of Unacademy, India's largest learning platform. Yes, am I audible, visible to all of you? Yes, boys and girls. Good. Yes, very good afternoon. Yes, if you are there, just ping me. Okay, so on Unacademy, we are going to provide you daily live classes, live tests, quiz, structured courses, and unlimited access with one subscription. There are many students ask me why to join. Yes, this is the thing which we are going to provide you. Clear? So please join it. So along with that, we are going to provide you the live classes, special classes, free classes on app. So please download the Unacademy app. If you haven't, please do it because plus classes and live classes only on app. Yes, let me introduce myself. Those who are new here, my name is Harshvardhan Singh and I am having 9-year experience in the field of civil services as an educator at Delhi, Pune and Nagpur. Earlier, I completed my graduation as an engineer, then I completed my masters in economics, and on this platform, I'm going to teach you all the aspects of history, including history optional, economics, and international relations. Currently, my lecture series on Indian economy and modern India is going on. Please watch the videos. If you haven't watched, it is available on our YouTube channel as well as our app. That is UPSC CSE English is YouTube channel. Please go and watch it. If you are having any question, any query related to your preparation or anything, you can contact me through Unacademy app or through Telegram channel. My Telegram channel is at unacademy_Harshvardhan, or you can connect with me through Unacademy app, that is Harshvardhan Singh for you. Yes, everyone. So these are our top educators. Please do watch the videos. It is available for you and it will be really helpful for you in your preparation. I hope all of you subscribe to Unacademy. Those who haven't taken subscription, please subscribe to Unacademy because your subscription made us possible to present such a videos. Yes, your subscription is important for us. So if you haven't taken, then we have the option of plus as well as iconic. In iconic subscription, we are going to provide you all the aspects of guidance, including question answer for mains on daily basis, personal feedback, personal coaching, and all. Along with that, we are going to provide you the plus subscription. In the plus, we are going to provide you the option of 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months. I insist you please have a subscription for at least 12 months, and if you are going to use my code Harshvi10 is my code. If you use my code, you will get the 10% discount and you're going to count as my student. Yes, everyone. The same way, if you want to take the iconic subscription, at least take for a year and it will cost around 62,550 after using my code Harshvi10. Yes, everyone. Along with that, if you want to take this optional subscription, then please have the optional subscription. It will cost around 24,750. These are our batches. Yes, everyone. For you, it is going to start from 1st February. It is in English, Hindi, and bilingual. According to your own convenience, you can join the batches. Yes, and on the popular demand, we increase the time. Earlier, it was decided to increase the prices from 25th. Now we extended it for 31st. So it is a golden opportunity for you. Otherwise, yes, we are going to provide you combo offer as well. In the combo, if you are taking the iconic subscription for GS and optional, it will cost around 88,705. And if you want to take the subscription for plus, both for GS and optional, it will cost around 70,103 after using my code. Yes, these are my special classes available for you. It is available on app. Please go and watch it. It will be really helpful for you in your preparation. Yes, everyone. So today we are on marathon lecture. Yes. So in this marathon lecture, we are going to discuss an important aspect in films as well as in mains, that is related to the acts in British India. There are various acts and most of you are quite aware of this act 1909, 1919 and 1935. And why it is so? Because most of these acts are basically the part of polity as well. So you are going to read this act from there. But other than that, there are few questions, at least one or two questions from the acts which was there in company's time, which was there in the initial period of British government in India. So those acts are also important because whatever the structure was created in 1909, 1919 and 1935, it is based on them. So apart from these three, which are the act, how there was a need to introduce this changes in India, we are going to discuss in the today's lecture. Yes, apart from these three, we are going to discuss the all the acts pre 1909. Yes, everyone. Yes, Ashwini, Nilesh, Rudra, Neha. Very good afternoon to you. Yes, very good afternoon to you. Okay, so structure of East India Company. Though the East India Company was official name after 1813. So this company, the British company was it. The company itself, meaning the word stakeholder should be there. Yes, every company means most of the companies, the French company was there, British company was there, along with Dutch company, Portuguese company. These are the companies. But in India, when the Britishers came, their company is having true democratic picture because the French company was basically the company of noble. The most of the stakeholders were basically nobles. But in East India Company of Britain, most of the stakeholders were common people. So stakeholder is there, that means shareholders. Yes, everyone. So shares were there in that. So this East India Company structure in Britain was like shareholders were there and their division is like General Court of Proprietor and COD. Yes, this is suppose East India Company. East India Company is having member and that General Court of Proprietor. This General Court of Proprietor is basically what we can say, it is like General Assembly of United Nations. And this Court of Proprietor is having a small body, a Supreme Executive Body. Yes, a Supreme Executive Body, and this Supreme Executive Body was known as COD, that is Court of Directors. Court of Directors. So, first, and why I'm mentioning this, please remember, if you really want to learn how company or how British government introduces law and what type of changes made after that, this is the reason. First, you have to understand the structure of it. So, East India Company was a company of stakeholder. Several stakeholders were there. This is General Court of Proprietor is basically managing body, and this managing body is having executive council, and this kind of means in general, if we consider it, it is just like council of minister, and this is like inner cabinet. Yes, supreme executive body. So if anybody wants to become a member of General Court of Proprietor, then criteria was that 500 pounds was there. And if anybody wants to be a member of it, COD, the criteria was 1000 pounds. Don't you think it's too much big amount? Yes, at that time it was very high because 500 pound, 1000 pound was too much at that time. But still it was there. Why? Because profitable company was there. Everybody wants to take the share of it. So this is the structure of company in Britain. What about the structure of East India Company in India? So in India they were having three presidencies. One is of course Bengal, another Bombay, and the third important, that is Madras. These three presidencies were there, and the head of these presidency were president. Later on it is known as governor. It is the same thing, president or governor. Here the president or governor. The head of presidency is president. But before that, one more concept is there. When company was in initial phase, this basically known as factor. The same person, factor, head of the factory is factor, and these factories were basically go down for East India Company. Fort William was their warehouse. Fort St. George was their warehouse. So the head of that warehouse, head of that factory is known as a factor. And later on this, when they started expansion, then they became the president of presidency. And later on when they assumed the power as a ruler, their name itself changed from president to governor. Yes, is that clear to you? Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? This is the structure of East India Company in India. Three presidencies under governor. All are having equal power. Yes, everyone. All are having equal power with each other. No one is supreme, no one is inferior. And when it was there in pre 1773. Okay, good. Next, background of Regulating Act of 1773. Why there was a need to introduce this act? Yes, why there was a need? Regulating. The word is regulating. Who is going to regulate? Somebody powerful should regulate it. So who were the powerful at that time? So of course, British government. East Indian trade was the most profitable. But company was facing financial crisis because of waging war with the Indian powers. Along with that, Indian powers were so powerful. So that's why the trade with the Indians were also strong. The traders were also strong. So basically, India is exporting more than importing. So here the condition was there in pre 1773, that is India is having trade surplus and East India Company is having trade deficit. Clear? So that's why balance of trade was in favor of India, and along with that, these British East India Company were engaged in entrance, engaged in war. Along with that, they are having war with French East India Company. So that's why they were suffering from losses. Their financial condition was not so good. So they asked financial help from British government. And this was the best opportunity for the British government to intervene into affairs of India, and that leads to Regulating Act. So company was in financial crisis, company need financial support. British government agreed to pay, agreed to provide help, but on condition. What condition was that? They said that we are going to regulate the affairs in India. We are going to regulate the affairs in India. So this Regulating Act of 1773 made the changes in administration of East India Company both in Britain and India. So in Britain what happened? The earlier the fee for becoming the general member of general court of proprietor, it was 500. Now it increased to 1000, so that commoners can stay away from it. Along with that, they introduced a system of election, that after election means for every 4 years there is a election, and along with that 1/4 retired every year. So basically, Britishers or British government is trying to regulate, trying to control the administration of company in Britain as well. Along with that, they said that if company, if any person wants to serve East India Company, then that person has to stay for 2 years in Britain. So these are the changes introduced by Regulating Act in Britain. Now what about India? The changes in India were drastic. The first important thing, Governor of Bengal, as we mentioned, Pre-Regulating Act of 1773. Bombay, Bengal and Madras were equal, but this act changed the position. Governor of Bengal became the Governor General of Bengal. Along with that, Governor General in Council is having 4 members. And right now, earlier he was only one person. Now he was assisted with the 4 members. Along with that, the salary is also fixed, and this provided the salary of rupees 25,000 pounds per year. 25,000 pounds per year, and the salary for the member is of 10,000 pounds per year. And why they increase the salary? Yes, everyone, do you have any idea? Yes, if you read the books, then you will have idea. Yes, क्या आपको पता है कि इतनी सैलरी क्यों दी गई? क्या कारण हो सकता है? 25,000 pounds 1773. Don't you think so? It is too much. Then why this salary was provided? Too much salary was provided. Any guess from your side? And it is important. That's why I ask you. The corruption was done by them. That's why. Okay. Yes. What about others? Neha, Rudra. Because of the because they possesses the personal trade. Yes, yes, yes. Now you are Zabardast. Exactly. Because whenever you are going, yes, 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 bribes, personal trade, gifts and everything, because corruption was on peak at that time. And why corruption was there? Because salary was low. Clear? That is the most important problem, and government realizes then from onward. So that's why the salary of class 1 officer is always a better, a good, so that most of the time they are not going to fall into any trap. Clear? So it was the same case. These were engaged in the bribery, corruption, personal gifts and all. That's why the salary was so high for them, so that they should not fall into such trap. Exactly. Next, Governor General has no power of veto. Means governor has to listen to Governor General in council. Yes, Ramkumar, good evening. Governor General has no power of veto. Means Governor General cannot override the decision taken by Governor General in Council. Because you know the democratic system was there as the four members are there, and if three members opposes the idea presented by the Governor General of Bengal, then that proposal is basically dropped. So basically, the position of Governor General of Bengal is first among the equal, and that creates a problem. Yes, everyone, that creates a problem, and this problem is ratified in latter case. I'm going to tell you when it was ratified. Next, Governor General in Council was given power. Yes, Governor General in Council was given power to control Bombay and Madras. So this act, yes everyone, please remember this thing. This act, that is Regulating Act of 1773, it leads to beginning or start of process of centralization. In British India, Regulating Act of 1773 begin the process of centralization, and one by one, British government, that is Bengal, became so powerful and they are going to control the all aspects of Madras, Bombay and latter provinces in latter times. Clear? So in which matter? In the matter of war and peace. And yes everyone, please remember one more point here. Do you know in the first Anglo-Maratha war, yes everyone, in the first Anglo-Maratha war, there was a Treaty of Purandar and Treaty of Surat. These were the two treaties. So Treaty of Surat was means it was an act of Bombay Presidency by own without consultation with Court of Director, without consultation with Governor General of Bengal. So this is the act through which it is mentioned that if Madras and Bombay Presidency has to take any action in the war and peace, they have to consult to Governor General of Bengal. And this created a problem in first Anglo-Maratha war because Bombay Presidency sought the best opportunity because the Raghunath Peshwa was with them and they tried to end the Marathas there. But because of this act, Governor General of Bengal intervened in that and they nullified the Treaty of Surat, and that's why that leads to Treaty of Purandar. Clear? Yes everyone, is that clear? So this is the way the conflict emerged, and finally this conflict resulted into one important result, that is Court of Director decided the Governor General of Bengal is having a right over Bombay and Madras, but whatever the decision taken by Bombay Presidency in Treaty of Surat was right. Yes everyone. Next thing, an important aspect in the development of judiciary, that is Supreme Court, was established in Fort William. Supreme Court was established in Fort William. So my basic question to all of you, whether the Supreme Court was acting as the same like Indian Supreme Court right now? Yes, boys and girls, what do you think? The Supreme Court was established in Fort William. Do you really think so? The Supreme Court of Fort William was acting like the same as the Supreme Court working right now? If it is, then please explain. If it is not, then please explain. What do you think? No, no, no. Yes. So Ashwini, Rudra, they mention no, it is not. Then what do you think? What was the basic function of Supreme Court of Fort William? Yes, boys and girls. What do you think? What was the basic function of Supreme Court established at Fort William? Ankita, you're there. Good, good, good. No, the council is created various problems. Yes, boys and girls, no response from your side. Shall I explain? Yes, shall I explain? But before that, one more question. Do you know the first Chief Justice of Supreme Court at Fort William? As it is a factual question for prelims, only appellate and original jurisdiction. है नेहा हाँ बताओ बताओ तुम ही बताओ नहीं मौका ही चाहिए मौका ही चाहिए सिर्फ अभी कभी पूछे हम कि shall I explain? Yes, please. But before that, a very factual question for all of you. Do you know the name of first Chief Justice of Fort William? Anybody, any idea? Yes, Rudra, Ramkumar, Neha, Ankita and others. Is there any idea? Nilesh, are you there? No response from your side. Good, very good. Jabardast, ekdam. Okay, so I'm going to provide you the answer. That Chief Justice was known as the name, surname of that person is Impe. Eliza Impe. Yes. Yes, Ashwini, exactly. What a brilliant student. Yes, Eliza Impe. So, this was a person who was the first Chief Justice of Supreme Court. So, what exactly the function of Supreme Court at Fort William? A very basic thing. The Supreme Court in the Fort William was basically for trying the Europeans and British subjects or British citizens. Remember one thing, yes everyone, this is a very star mark thing, that is Supreme Court at Fort William was not trying, there is no trial of Indians, clear, because for Indians there was, yes, there was a court at Allahabad, Diwani and Faujdari. Diwani is for civil offences and Faujdari is for criminal offences. Yes everyone, is that clear to you? Diwani and Faujdari. These were the two courts present at Allahabad, present at Murshidabad. So these were trying the Indian subjects. And the highest court of appellate at that time, just remember one thing, the highest court of appellate at that time was basically Crown's Court. Clear? So Supreme Court at Fort William was not trying Indian subject. It is there for Europeans as well as Britishers. And Diwani and Faujdari Court was there at Allahabad and they are going to try Indian subjects. Yes everyone? Along with that, the most important thing, that is Governor General in Council and Supreme Court combinedly acted as a justice for peace. Yes, Governor General in Council and Supreme Court combinedly acted as a justice for peace. So this is also an important fact from prelims point of view. Clear? So if anybody asks you the question, or if this question asked in the prelims examination, justice for peace, so Governor General in Council along with Supreme Court at Fort William acted as a justice for peace. Yes, everyone, is that clear? Yes, do you have any question, any query, any doubt? Is that clear to you? Okay, so if we want to sum up this thing, means if we want to sum up the regulating act of 1773, then this act was basically, we are going to sum up in two aspects. One is changes in Britain, and the second is changes in India. In Britain, we have mentioned the things, that is British control, that is one more thing, 1,000 pounds was there. Yes, changes in India, we mentioned Governor General of Bengal assisted by Governor General in Council, Supreme Court at Fort William, etc. So the changes made in India, and this is the process of beginning of centralization in India. Clear? Yes, Ashwini, exactly. Changes in the shareholders' value and establishment of Supreme Court. We mentioned about regulating act. So regulating act is clear. Okay. Next important act. And one more thing, as we have mentioned this point. Yes, I just want to tell you one this. Which one? Okay, yes, this point. Governor General has no power to veto. So this creates a problem because Governor General of Bengal was the most important power, and now he was treating as equal with the members. This creates a problem, and this problem is ratified by a small act known as Act of 1781. With this act, Governor General given the veto power. Yes, so governor can veto any decision, override any decision taken by council. Clear? But still, the Regulating Act of 1773 creates a lots of problem related to the administration in Britain, related to the administration in India, as the intention of British government is to regulate, try to control the affairs of company in India, but still there were some problem aspect left, and these all problems are sorted out by a new act, and that new act was known as Pitt's India Act 1784. This Pitt's India Act provided the basic structure for the working of East India Company in India, and this basic structure was continued till the transfer of power from company to crown. Clear? So what kind of basic structure they created? Now the dual government is formed. Yes, everyone, dual government is formed. One under crown, another under company. What kind of dual government? Yes, what kind of dual government? territory belongs to crown. Territory belongs to crown and trade belongs to company. Company was managed by General Court of Proprietor and COD, but the function of crown was handled by BOC, that is Board of Control, but official name is Board of Commissioner for Indian Affairs. It is the official name, but Board of Control was popularly known as. So now the Crown is represented by Board of Control and company is represented by General Court of Proprietor and Court of Directors. So BOC is having upper hand over the company's affair. Yes, and now Crown is going to appoint the people. Clear? So this is the beginning of dual government in India by Britishers. The territorial Crown was having territorial supremacy and company was having the supremacy over the trade. Clear? So this type of dual government was established in India and this was continued till the transfer of power from British company to crown. Yes everyone, is that clear to you? Yes, boys and girls, is that clear to you? Yes, boys and girls, is that clear to you? Any question, any query, any doubt? The two division is clear, that is known as dual government established in India. That is dual government is popularly known as one more word, that is diarchy. Yes, popularly known as diarchy. I hope I gave you the explanation of the all points. So this is just a basic thing. Now what type of changes introduced by Pitt's India Act in India? So the most important thing is basically the member of Governor General in Council reduced to 3. Yes, what we have mentioned in the Regulating Act of 1773, we mentioned that Governor General of Bengal plus council, the council is having 4 members. So now it reduced to 3. Along with that, one among them is Commander in Chief. And most of the time it is the case that is Viceroy or Governor General of Bengal was the Commander in Chief. So don't you think so? The position of Governor of Bengal or Governor General of Bengal is much more stronger. Yes, everyone. So what kind of changes they introduced in India? First of all, the membership is reduced from 4 to 3. One among them is Commander-in-Chief, and the second we mention about the continuation of process of centralization. What kind of continuation of centralization? That is control of Bengal presidency over Bombay and Madras in not just in war but in political, social and economic. Clear? So this is where sorry, here continuous centralization. So political centralization, the process begin along with the social and economic centralization starting. Clear? Next, the Pitt's India Act prohibits the Governor General in Council waging a war without permission of COD. And why it was so? Because of the same reason, that is financial crisis. Company was facing financial crisis. That's why it is clearly mentioned, do not wage a war without any reason. So And if you want to wage the war, then please take the permission from COD. But earlier, what was the case? The autonomy was there with the Bombay Presidency, Madras Presidency, Bengal Presidency. If they thought the condition of that particular area is ripened for their settlement, so they waged the war against that. But now it is not the case. They have to take the permission from Court of Directors. And this is the most important aspect introduced by the Pitt's India Act, that is prohibition of gifts and presents. Means companies employees should not accept any gifts or present from anyone, because if you are a salaried, then it is considered act as an act of corruption. Clear? Yes, everyone. Is that clear? Good. Now, the Charter Act of 1793. The regulating act was basically 1773. Now, after how many years? 20 years. 1773. In the 1773, the company was given free hand in India, but for 20 years. After 20 years, there is a revision of that provision. So that's why the word is charter. Charter is basically permission given by Crown for company to trade in India, and that is the monopoly. This charter is basically monopoly. So the Charter Act of 1793 continued the monopoly of East India Company in India, in eastern part. But here is small thing, that is small share in trade given to private players. Means now if you look at this in very carefully, you will get to know gradually, act by act, British government tried to end the monopoly of the company. So here in the 1793 Act, British government forces company to accept one thing, that is small share of trade to given to private individual, private player in the eastern part. Company agree over it. Why? Helpless. Company was helpless. Company doesn't have that much financial stability. So Britishers are providing stability. British government is controlling the affairs, territorial affairs. So that's why it is agree to company. So here first time they introduced or they started ending the process of monopoly of East India Company. The second most important thing, that is Europeanization of civil services. Do you know that one person was known as father of civil services in India? Yes, do you know the name of the person? Yes, everyone. Europeanization of civil services. The process began, and the father of civil services in India considered as, I just want to know the name of the person who is considered as the father of it. It is a factual question, boys and girls. It is a factual question, but it can definitely ask in the prelims examination, and one question creates a huge difference. Yes, Sathiyo, Neha said Cornwallis or Wellesley or William Benting or Warren Hastings. I'm providing you the option. Yes, everyone. Cornwallis, Wellesley, William Benting, and Warren Hastings. Now what to do? I provide you the option as well. अब इससे ज्यादा तो हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. I provide you the option. Who is considered as a father of civil services in India? Cornwallis, Wellesley, William Benting, Warren Hastings. Yes, exactly. And no need to mention Lord. Yes, Ankita, they are not, and they were not Lord of us. मालिक थोड़ी थे, मालिक नहीं थे हमारे. So if you really want to provide some respect, then you can add the Governor General, Viceroy. That will be fine. Lord, no need to mention Lord because we are not slave of Britain anymore. Yes, of course. Cornwallis is considered as a father of civil services in India, but William Benting, oh sorry, Warren Hastings was the person who first time appointed European collectors. And you know that in India, in many places, head of the district administration is known as collector, and especially in Maharashtra, it is known as a collector. Why it is so? Because earlier the European collectors were appointed. Yes, European collectors were appointed by Warren Hastings, and their function was collection of taxes, collection of land revenue. And that's why the word is collector is very famous and most of you wants to be a part of it. Am I right? Yes, am I right? Most of you want to be a part of it. Clear. So Warren Hastings first time introduced the European collector. Cornwallis made the Europeanization of civil services, and this act provided the background for it, and Cornwallis used this opportunity. Remember one thing, companies extended the monopoly of East India Company to 20 years. So by this logic, what do you think when will be the next act? Yes, by the same logic, what do you think when will be the next act? Of course, 1813. 1813 will be the next act because the company's charter is renewed and it is given for 20 years. What type of changes introduced by this Act 1793? Governor General can issue the order away from council. Yes, this is most important. It is a kind of ordinance. Kind of. I didn't mention it is an ordinance. Ordinance power was not given. But maybe it is the case that if it is urgency, anything, so Governor General do not have to take permission to issue orders. So this act basically strengthened the position of Governor General of Bengal, right? And one more important thing, the salary of Board of Control from Indian Revenue. Don't you think so? They are the employee of Crown. They are employee of Crown. Crown appointed them to watch the affairs of India. So it is a duty of Crown to pay. But Crown said no, no. It is for India, then India should pay. So the salary of Board of Control was from Indian Revenue. Clear? Yes, is that clear to you? Next, the Charter Act of 1813. Charter Act of 1813. This Charter Act of 1813 is also important in many aspects. Some changes introduced by this act as well, and they are having most importance. Most of the time, UPSC. Yes, everyone, please take this into consideration. 1813 and 1833, 1853, these are the three acts which was loved by UPSC. Most of the time, the question is from these three acts: 1813, 33, and 53. 33, 13, and 53. So what exactly the Charter Act of 1813? Same procedure, that is renewal of the charter for 20 years, that is monopoly of East India Company was revived in East Indies for 20 years. But here is another change introduced, that is except tea trade and China trade, monopoly of company abolished in East. Yes, everyone, this is the most important aspect. Other than tea trade and China trade, and why they kept it? Because it is the most profitable trade from them. Because of the China trade, do you know, in world history we discussed this thing. In world history we mentioned this point very clearly, that is opium trade was with China, and this opium trade was profitable. This trade was used to compensate the losses suffered, or compensate the losses which British East India Company was getting in the trade with India. Clear? So these two trades were having most important, and tea trade because of the high demand in European market for the trade tea. So that's why these two were profitable. So companies monopoly maintained. But other than tea and China, they said bas bahut ho gaya, ab nahi. Clear? Yes, clear. Is that clear to you? Next point, that is separation of company's territorial account and commercial account. Clear cut demarcation. By the Act of 1813, there is a clear cut demarcation on company's territorial account and commercial account. So basically this act mentioned that companies should focus on their commercial interest. About territory, British government is going to take care of it. Don't worry. This question, yes, this is a very factual point, and most of the time UPSC asks this question, that is 1 lakh. Charter Act of 1813 provided the 1 lakh to provide education in India. This act created the background, and later on you know that by the one more thing is that what Macaulay's Minute, Wood's Dispatch. This is the beginning, the process of education, the primary education, and why they provided the fund? Because what they want? They want clerks to handle their affairs in India, and it was not possible for them to recruit the clerks from Britain. Why? Because it's costly. So instead of recruiting the people from Britain, it is better to have Indians. Indians were loyal and going to provide the service at very cheap rate. And that's why the process of providing education started with the Act of 1813. Clear? Yes, everyone, is that clear? The next important, permission was given for Christian missionaries. As everywhere in the Europe, these Christian missionaries forces their king or queen to adopt this policy. They ask their king and queens to allow them to promote the Christianity, but for a long time they stopped. They didn't allow. But Charter Act of 1813 allowed the Christian missionaries to propagate their religious idea in India. Next important thing, as we have mentioned here, that is companies that is company's account and territorial account is totally bifurcated, and crown sovereignty here, the crown sovereignty was established over the company's territory. Now the territory belongs to crown. It is not belongs to East India Company. Means it is the case in 1813. This is the period where the second Anglo-Maratha war was ended. Yes, the second Anglo-Maratha was basically in 1801 to 3. So whatever the territory they captured of Marathas, now it is a part of crown. Whatever the territories they captured of Mysore, it is a part of crown. Earlier it was under British company. Now British crown said that all territory belongs to them. Don't you think so? Or can you see how British government tried to establish their control through this act? Basically, if you can see it very clearly, you will get to know and you can easily notice one thing, that is basically these acts were not introduced for welfare of India. These acts were not introduced for the welfare of company. This act was basically the gradual process through which British Crown establishing their control over Indian territory. Yes, everyone, am I right? Yes, everyone, if you look at this, can you say that? Yes, boys and girls, if you go through it, can you say that? क्या लगता है आपको? Yes, everyone, is there any response from your side? Yes, I'm waiting for your reply, boys and girls. Can we say? Yes, boys and girls. Have you gone through previous year question paper? If you've gone through it, you will easily notice one thing, that is, yes, boys and girls, sorry for inconvenience. Yes, 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 exactly. It is today I'm facing too much problem of internet connectivity. Yes, extremely sorry for that. So, if you've gone through previous year question paper, have you noticed that this question asks at least, at least I'm telling you, at least 6 to 7 times? Yes, even this question was the same thing. Even this question is for the same, and this question is also same. So this shows that this act of 1813 was very much important from prelims point of view, and this act, section of act, is very much important from mains point of view. One question directly can ask over this act. Basically this part is divided into two. In mains they can ask the question like the acts during company and acts during crown. Clear? So in the mains, they can ask the question related to the company or they can ask the question related to the crown and combined question. It is not a separate question. But from prelims point of view, this act is very, very important. Yes, is that clear? So Charter Act of 1813 is clear, but there is one more provision related to the act and that is related to the Charter Act of 1813. As we have mentioned, charter is basically permission and every year they renew that charter for 20 years. So earlier act was there 1813, now this act was 1833. So, Charter Act of 1833 was basically culmination of the process of centralization. So, what kind of culmination? The most important thing, Governor General of Bengal became the Governor General of India. So, this Governor General of India is having control over Bombay, control over Bengal, and control over Madras. But along with that, one more thing happened here. What was that? I'm going to tell you. As I mentioned, the Bengal was there. Earlier, the governor of Bengal became the Governor General of Bengal. Now, the Governor General of Bengal became the Governor General of India. But what happened here? What about Bengal? Bengal was basically divided into two provinces. One was there Bengal, the another was known as Northwest Province. This Northwest Province was also known as Agra Presidency. This Northwest Province was known as Agra Presidency earlier in 1834, but in 1835 the name was Northwest Province. So Bengal Presidency was handed over to Lieutenant Governor, and the same way Northwest Province was under Lieutenant Governor. So if we consider the position, so it is position like Governor General of India was having control over the four area. One is Bombay, one is Madras, one is Bengal, and one is Northwest Province. Bengal was headed by Governor, Madras was headed by Governor, but Bengal was created by Lieutenant General and Northwest was under Lieutenant General. Is that clear to you? Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? This Bombay presidency is having council. Madras is having council, that is governor is supported by council. But but in this case, lieutenant governor were there. They do not assisted by council. Is that clear to you, everyone? This is a very minute detail of this act, and maybe they can ask the question in the same manner. That's why I'm going to tell you this. Clear? Good. And the position of Lieutenant Governor of Bengal remains the same till 1911. Yes, everyone, please remember. In 1911, there was a formation of Bengal province. How? By revocation of partition. This Bengal is become the part of West Bengal plus East Bengal. Now in 1911 the position of Governor of Bengal is restored, but for a long time, that is 1833 to 1911, for this long time Bengal presidency was under Lieutenant Governor. Clear? Yes, boys and girls, is that clear to you? No doubt, no confusion, nothing else? Clear? Very good. Yes, if you have any question, you can ask me. It is not the case that it is a one-way communication. It is a two-way communication. You can communicate with me. If you are having question, you can ask me. Okay. So this point is clear. First, second point is clear. Next, expansion of Governor General in Council and added a new member. Yes, this is the most important thing from prelims point of view. As pre 1833, Governor General in Council was there. Governor General in Council were there. Governor General plus three members were there. This Governor General in Council were doing two functions. One is executive and other is legislative. Yes, in short, it is Gangadhari Shaktiman hai position. The same person is going to make the law, the same person is going to act as an executive. There is no separation of the power, there is no separation of the function. Executive and legislature, both powers were there with the Governor General in Council. But the Charter Act of 1833 introduced one change, and this change is most important. That is, this act added a new member, and that member was basically law member. Yes, but this law member was not a full member. Governor General in Council, Governor General in Council was there. In that, now there are two different functions. One is executive function, another is a legislative function. In legislature, now there are four member, Governor General plus three old member, and now the fourth one is law member. Clear? But this law member is basically considered as a half member. Why? Because in the executive council, law member doesn't have any stake. Yes, everyone? Law member doesn't have any stake in this process. Clear? Yes, everyone. Is that clear to you? What is the inclusion of law member? And yes, this is the act through which basically the beginning of the process of legislature in India. Please keep this in your mind. Whatever the central legislative assembly, provincial legislative assembly and all, the process begin in the Act of 1833 with the introduction of law member. Law member was a half member, and what's the function of law member? To draft the law and to enact the law. Yes, Neha asked why there were the extension for 20 years. Good. What a brilliant question asked. Shabash, shabash, shabash. Badhiya. And don't you think so? These questions are very irrelevant in nature. Why 20? Why not 21? Yes, these questions are most important for state services. because they are totally believe in one concept, factual. In UPSC, such concepts are not matter law. Clear? Yes, everyone. Is that clear? So remember one thing. The process of expansion of Legislative Council of Governor General started with the Act of 1833 by introduction of law member. So now Governor General in Council is doing two functions. One is executive, another is the legislature. The same way again this act provided the extension of 20 years, but but one more thing I just want to mention, end of monopoly of East India Company in East Indies. Because in 1813 what they did, they mentioned two aspects, tea trade and China trade. Other monopoly was abolished and Charter Act of 1813 ended the whole monopoly, but still they renew the charter for 20 years. So now nothing is exclusive for East India Company. Clear? Next, this is an important aspect related to civil services examination, that is elements of competition introduced in civil services, because what we have mentioned earlier, Europeanization of civil services. So there is a no scope for Indian to be there. But now partial to some extent they provided the opportunities for Indian to take part into Indian civil services. Clear? Yes, Ankita, Neha, Ashwini, Rudra, is that clear to you? Is that clear? No question, no confusion, no doubt. हाँ भाई, कोई किसी को सवाल है, कुछ पूछना है? If you have, just you can ask. Okay, next thing related to the Act of 1833. Crown was given power to appointment of Commissioner for Affairs in India. Appointment of Commissioner for Affairs in India, basically BOC. They are talking now. Crown is having power. So basically they established a control through this way. Next, Governor General has no veto. Yes, again they made this situation complicated. Governor General has no veto to override the Legislative Council. That means by the Act of 1833, Governor General has a power to use the veto to override Executive Council. Means governor can override the Executive Council, but governor cannot overrule the Legislative Council. So again it is a question mark over the role of governor, and that's why again it creates problem, but this problem was ratified in the new act, and that is 1853. Yes, and the new name is given to company after abolition of monopoly, and this name was basically East India Company, a very popular name, and most of us hated this company because this company is responsible for exploitation of India. Along with that, this company laid the foundation of British rule in India. They ruled here for almost almost 190 years. Yes, is that clear? So Charter Act, if you want to sum up the Charter Act of 1833, then it is very basically, it is the culmination of process of centralization, as we mentioned, the control of Bengal established over other, and now the Governor General of Bengal is became the Governor General of India. Executive expansion of Governor General in Council. Two things, that is law member included executive and legislative function. Next, elements of competition means half competition is introduced in civil services. Next, Crown was given power to appoint Commissioner in Affairs in India, that is DOC. Governor General no veto to override Legislative Council. And the last thing, that is new name is given to company, that is East India Company. Clear? Clear, boys and girls? No question, no doubt, nothing. What a brilliant student you are. You never had a doubt. None of you are having doubt. So I have doubt over myself. नहीं पढ़ा रहे, समझ रहे हो, नहीं समझ रहे हो, यही समझ में नहीं आ रहा. Yes, the next important thing, that is after 20 years, it is a ritual kind of thing for them. After 20 years, they are going to revise. And now, once again, they renew the charter of East India Company. But here, the most important thing, that is, period is not defined. Renewal of charter, but here period is not defined. Earlier they used to provide the charter. So this is basically a one step forward towards capturing of Indian territories and Indian trade in all aspects. British government or British Crown was waiting for one opportunity, and that opportunity was provided by revolt of 1857. They want justification. Do you know that Britishers always remember one thing? Whenever British established a rule all over the world, it is not just by force, it is by hegemony, and this hegemony is important. They did everything, and for their act they always have a justification. The same thing it happened. They extended the charter, but here date is not mentioned. Means they were waiting for the right opportunity to take control, and this right opportunity was provided by the revolt of 1857. And once it happened, British Crown said that yes, it is because of the policies of British East India Company. Now don't worry, we are there. We are going to take care of you as a parent body. That's why it is known as which aspect? Yes, which aspect is known as a parental type of approach. And Queen is also take one more title which shows that parental approach. So basically, a British paramountcy established by them in practice. So Charter Act of 1853 is important because this act provided the full scope for Indians in civil services. This act clearly mentioned there is no discrimination against anyone including Indians. And because of this act, you know, there are many Indians participated in civil services. Do you know the name of first Indian ICS? Yes, boys and girls, do you know the first Indian who selected as a ICS? अरे बताओ 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 फटाफट. क्या हम वही बोले? Yes, everyone. Do you know the name of first Indian who selected as ICS? Past. Factual question. And this act was created the background for it. ये नाम तो पता होना ही चाहिए. Yes, भाई साहब आपको नाम तो पता होना चाहिए मैडम. It is a factual question and you should know the name of the person. Ankita said, Ashwini said, Satyendranath Tagore or Surendranath Banerjee. Surendranath Banerjee, Satyendranath Tagore, or one more person is there. I don't remember the name of the person, but some Gupta is there, and this person created a very important framework, and that is known as Hilbert Bill. I don't remember the name of the particular person. Yes, Rudra. Rudra mentioned Surendranath Banerjee, Ankita and Ashwini mentioned Satyendranath Tagore. So which one is correct answer? Yes. Which one of them played an important role? Which one of them was first Indian ICS? नहीं आप लोगों को नहीं लगता यहाँ पे बहुत सारे लोग हैं है ना बहुत सारे लोग हैं तो जवाब तीन लोगों ने दिया बाकी लोग क्या कर रहे हैं or whether you allow them as your representative to mention the answer. If it is so, then I'm really happy that these three are going to write men's and rest are going to take rest for and they are going to appear for next year. Yes, first ICS is basically Satyendranath. Yes, Satyendranath Tagore. And yes, one more thing, he is related to one more important personality in India, that is Rabindranath Tagore. Clear? Next, expansion of Legislative Council. As we mentioned, the Charter Act of 1833, executive and legislative function. Executive is having 3 members, legislative is having 4. That is, one is law member. Law member was a half member. Now there are 12. Yes, expansion started in 1833. In 1853, more expansion. Now the 12 members are there in Legislative Council. And law member became the full member here. So here there are 12 in that 11 plus 1 law member. Clear? And what I mentioned earlier, that is Charter Act of 1833 made one mistake, that is veto power was given to override the decision of Executive Council. But here the Viceroy was given the veto power to override Executive as well as Legislative Council. So this way, Viceroy, that is at the time was known as Governor General of India, was a powerful personality. He can rule any decision taken by Executive Council or Legislative Council. Clear? Yes, boys and girls, is that clear? Next, Act of 1858. The Act of 1858, the name of Act was basically the Act for the Better Government in India. Yes, please remember, this is the official name of the Act, Act for Better Government of India. That means British Crown admitted that the administration provided by East India Company was worst. Am I right? Yes, my fellow students, my fellow friends. Don't you think so? The name itself suggests Act for Better Government of India. That means the government was there in pre-1858 was not that much good. Clear. And this is a suggestive that Crown is blaming the company that your administration in India was worst, and because of that Indians revolted against you. So this is the best chance for Crown. As I said, every time they want justification, and they got this offer opportunity, and they said that we are going to provide better government in India. So this act was basically transfer of power from company to crown. Act of 1858. This Act of 1858 is having Queen's Declaration, and this Queen's Declaration is consist of many aspects. For example, I just want to let you know one aspect, that is Queen confirm the pardon of canon. Means if canon pardon any native ruler or anyone, then they confirmed it. Second most important thing in the Queen Declaration, it was clear that is no discrimination against Indians. So this is very clear. The one more aspect of Queen's Declaration, that is yes, and sometimes this point, third point, is a disadvantageous for India. That is no interference in religious matters. And that is really a sudden thing for us, because whatever the problems were there in Indian society for a long time, British company through the laws they made several change. The most important change, and most of the girls should pay their respect for the people like Rajaram Mohan Rai. They abolished the sati, even the Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, the Widow Remarriage Act. So these are the acts, these are the practices were followed by Indian for a long time, and these were anti women. Along with that, there were many practices which were anti-human, like untouchability and all. So these practices prevailed, but this British government provided equality to all, because for them, all Indians were slaves. It doesn't matter whether you are white or black, whether you are from higher caste or lower caste, whether you are male or female, slave. Clear? So this is the Queen's Declaration. Through that, she mentioned no interference in religious matter. Along with that, it made clear that is no intention of further expansion. Means, as and why it was so, because it was a statement of Canning that native state acted as a I don't remember that particular word. It acted as a shade for us in the storm. Otherwise, British government was uprooted from India if native rulers were not supported them. Clear? Yes, is that clear to all of you? So is very clear, very clear. It is mentioning that native rulers supported British government or British East India Company at that time, and the resultant of that, British East India Company saved their face in India, and that's why Queen declared that they do not have any intention for further expansion. Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? Is that clear to you? Any question, any query, any doubt related to the same? No doubt, no question. Good. Next, the office of SOS, that is Secretary of State, created, and this office is popularly known as India House. Yes, this is very important for factual question. And one more thing, one more question for you. Who is going to pay salary? Yes, everyone. Who is going to pay the salary of India House? Yes, Ashwini, exactly. Exactly. Don't worry. I'm going to tell you that as well. Because when British Crown took the all affairs, now India is subject of British Crown, and the position of Governor General of India raised to Viceroy, that is representative of Crown. Yes, shabash, shabash, shabash. Who is going to pay the salary? Of course, Indians are going to pay the salary, and through Indian revenue. And you know what? This is the part of home charges. This home charges consist of many aspects. So one aspect is salary of SOS, salary of office of SOS paid through Indian revenue. Home charges is basically the salary of in Britishers or any other aspects are paid through Indian revenue. So that's why the word home charges were there. And one part is SOS. Another part is pension of civil servants. Yes, there were many. There are four things are there in home charges, and I'm not going to tell you all. It's your duty to find out what others are. Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? Good. And the last one, yes, Ashwini, it is there. That is Governor General of India became the Viceroy of India. Governor General of India became the Viceroy of India. Clear? See, Britishers are going to provide you better government. You anti-national? You want freedom? Why you want freedom? When they are providing all the facilities to you, including the English language. We considered it as a language of sophisticated people. See, you, only you. Otherwise, we can talk English, walk English, everything in English. Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? Any question, any doubt, any query related to the whatever the acts we have discussed till now? Yes, do you have any question, any query? Nothing? Nothing? Good. Now, the next thing, Indian Council Act. Yes, Indian Council Act of 1861. So this is the means as when Crown took the affairs of India, this is the first step when they started expanding the legislative council. So this act of 1861 introduced the portfolio system. What exactly it is? Yes, everyone. Portfolio system was introduced in 1861, but what exactly this portfolio system is there? I don't know. I don't know what exactly it is. I just want to answer from you. Ankita said cabinet formation. Okay. What about others? Yes, what about others? Only she knew this thing. Rest don't have any idea. Whether this word portfolio is the first time you heard in your life. Yes, everyone, why there is so much silence? इतना सन्नाटा क्यों है भाई? Yes, the portfolio system, those who don't know, it is just like portfolio is means assigning department. And yes, in the word of Ankita, it is the same cabinet, kind of cabinet formation. Yes, each branch of government is having own official head and spokesperson of the government. Yes, allotment of particular department. Very good. So this system was introduced first time because earlier what was there? Viceroy is having all the power. Rest are assisting him. But now the portfolio is given to other. Means defense is your sector. Agriculture is your sector. Yes, foreign relation is your sector. It is the same way right now. Hmm. Means since beginning of Indian political system after independence, we follow the practice of पोर्टफोलियो नहीं रक्षा मंत्री सिर्फ रक्षा की बातें करेगा है ना वित्त मंत्री वित्त की बातें करेगा ऐसा नहीं है कि वित्त मंत्री रक्षा मंत्री की बातें करेगा रक्षा मंत्री ऊर्जा मंत्री की बातें करेगा ऊर्जा मंत्री रेल मंत्री की बातें करेगा ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए एंड दैट्स व्हाई पोर्टफोलियो सिस्टम इज देयर one particular function is assigned to one person and that person is responsible for it so this system of portfolio was already introduced by Canning. Yes, Canning was the viceroy at the time of revolt. Along with that, he became the viceroy later on. Means he was the last governor general of India. Along with that, he was the first viceroy of India. So he already introduced that, but official announcement is through Act of 1861. Now again you will get to know that expansion of legislative council now it is 20. Just look at 1833. How many members? 4. 1853. How many members? 12. 1861. Now it is 20. Yes, look at here. Yes, look at here. 1853, 12 members were there. 1833. Yes, where is 1833? Okay. Okay, yes, here the law member is added. Clear? So it is visible to you that every act started expanding the legislative process. Clear? So now 20 members are there in legislative council. So executive council is having limited members, but in legislative council more members are added. And yes, the 1861 is basically the process of decentralization began. Yes, for a long time, as we have mentioned, for a long time, the Regulating Act of 1833 we mentioned, it is known as a of process of culmination of process of centralization. Culmination of process of centralization means what? Only only Governor General in council is having a right to implement draft laws. Yes, everyone. It is the only thing. What about others? What about the presidency of Bombay? What about the presidency of Madras? They just can suggest the laws. They can suggest, but they do not have a right to draft the law or to implement it. So it was a process of centralization began in Act of Regulating Act of 1773, and it was continued till 1861. So after the Act of 1861, the process of decentralization began and the powers with the Bombay and Madras restored. Power of what? Power of making law, power of implementing law and drafting law. Yes, everyone. So this is a clear for you. That is legislative decentralization. This point is clear. Yes, is that clear to you? This point, legislative decentralization. Clear? Yes, boys and girls, is that clear? No question? Nothing? Good. Next thing, that is assent of Governor General is mandatory for law. Means without signature of Governor General, that is Viceroy, it is not possible that any act become law. So that is important, very important. And this shows the position of Viceroy, that is position of Viceroy is a supreme in India, next to crown in India. Clear? Yes, next to crown in India. Yes, Neha. Neha said, explain the portfolio system. Portfolio system is basically the ministerial system in India right now. Portfolio is basically department. Portfolio is department. Let's take example at present. Defense Ministry is there. There is portfolio. Then Finance Ministry. Then Foreign Affairs. Clear? Yes, Neha, it's very simple. Portfolio means assigning the function, one particular function to one person. What happened earlier? What happened and why it was necessary? Now the expansion of council was going on, and earlier the Viceroy was the supreme head. He was taking all decision. Rest are just assisting Viceroy. But now what happened? Viceroy is supreme, but functions are assigned. You can look after the defense, you can look after the commerce, you can look after the finance. So that is portfolio. It's your responsibility. If anything goes wrong, you're responsible for that. So it is the form of decentralization. Centralization means every decision is taken by one person, and it happened in dictator form of government. A concentration of power is there. So the Act of 1816 was basically beginning of the process of decentralization of power in India, and the most important is introduction of portfolio system along with the legislative decentralization. Neha, is that clear to you? Clear? Next important thing, that is Governor General was given a power to issue ordinance, and this ordinance is valid for 6 months. Governor General was given power to issue ordinance, and this ordinance remains in power for 6 months. Don't you think so? It is kind of similar thing which is present in India. नहीं, आप लोगों को नहीं लगता है कि भारत में भी ऐसा ही कुछ है? अध्यादेश नाम की एक चीज होती है, और ये अध्यादेश अध्यादेश जो है ना, उसका एक कारण था कि यदि आप किसी कारणवश संसद या संसद के जो सदस्य है वो इकट्ठा ना हो पाए, तब एसओएस बेसिस पे आप उसे इस्तेमाल कर सकते हो. बट nowadays it is very common trend. You can skip the parliament and you can issue the ordinance. Yes, it is very common. So Governor General was given a power to issue ordinance, and this ordinance is basically on SOS basis if it is required. And what exactly, when governor is far away from council, he was not in a position to have an interaction with them, because at that time they don't have WhatsApp, they don't have Zoom call. Yes, so that they can connect with them. Where are you? Yes, I am here. Online in 5 minutes. It was not the case at that time. कहाँ हो पता नहीं, गवर्नर अरे भाई साहब निकल गए घोड़े पे, कहाँ शिकार के लिए, तो शिकार के लिए कहाँ गए, कैसे गए. Clear? So such kind of problem was there in communication. So governor was having that power, that governor can issue ordinance, and this ordinance was continued feature of British Indian government. And after independence, when we adopted our constitution, we also have this under Article 123 and Article 213, issuing of ordinance power. Am I right? Am I right? I also am not a student. I'm not a student of polity, but maybe whatever I said, it is based on fact. Yes. क्या बात है, क्या बात है, हमें भी याद है, हैं? आप खुद ही नहीं पढ़ रहे हो, हमें भी याद है. चलो, good. Yes, exactly. Article 123 and Article 213 are the part of issuing of ordinance in central and state respectively. Clear? Yes, is that clear to you? Good. Next, Governor General was given a power. Yes, remember, Governor General was given power to establish the Legislative Council in Punjab, Bengal, and North West Province. Punjab, Bengal, and North West Province. That means in Bombay, the Governor General plus Council was there. At Madras, Governor General with Council were there. Yes, here there were Council, but the Council was not present in Punjab, because Punjab was newly acquired area. As we mentioned about the Bengal earlier, do you remember? that Act of 1833 made the position of Bengal as the position of Lieutenant Governor. So this Lieutenant Governor was basically attached with the council. Along with that, this Bengal was divided into Northwest Province. Here also the Lieutenant Governor was there plus council, and in Punjab also same. Now is that clear to you? Clear? Good. Now one more act, and this act is important from prelims point of view. That is India Council Act or Indian Council Act of 1892. This act is basically expansion of legislative council. Expansion, what kind of expansion is there? Expansion of legislative council. What kind of expansion? Here the number is increased. Earlier number was 20. Now it increased. And one more important thing, indirect election introduced, because earlier means pre 1892 Act, all members of legislative council was basically appointed. So appointed, when the word is appointed, so this means that appointed, this means that there is no process of election, appointed by governor or governor general. So here the first time introduction of election in indirect way. How? There were 25 members who were Indians. 25 members who were Indian. Out of that, 4 elected indirectly by the provinces. Which provinces? Bombay, Bengal, Madras and Northwest Frontier, and 1 by Calcutta Chambers of Commerce. So there were the 5 members elected by Indians, means Indians voted for them and Indians became the part of it. So Act of 1892 is important for introduction of indirect election in India. And one more important aspect is introduced through that, that is these members, that is member of legislative assembly, can discuss the budget but in limited sense. Clear? India Council Act of 1892, here the provision of indirect election was there. In that, if there are 25 members, Indian members was allowed in that. Out of 25, 5 members were indirectly elected, 4 members from provinces and 1 member is from Calcutta Chamber of Commerce. And they have the right to discuss the budget in limited sense. And you know Gopal Krishna Gokhale played an important role in that. Gopal Krishna Gokhale's speeches in the legislative assembly is very famous, means are very famous. Yes, is that clear to you? Yes, boys and girls, is that clear to you? Any question, any doubt, any query? Nothing? यस, जो भी हमने आपको अभी तक पढ़ाया है उसमें कोई संदेह है आपको किसी भी चीज में, या कुछ लगता है कि नहीं नहीं ये समझ में नहीं आया, वो समझ में नहीं आया, फिर से एक बार बताओ। क्योंकि किताबों में से जब आप ये पढ़ोगे तो बड़ी दिक्कत होगी, बड़ी मुश्किलात होती है, ये समझ में नहीं आता है कि एग्जैक्ट क्या है, क्योंकि वहां पे ना आपको कोई स्टोरी नहीं बताता। As INC was established, did it play special role in during this act? Not that much, not that much. To some extent, but we cannot consider because establishment of Indian National Congress was there in 1885. And how can we consider that within just 5 to 7 years they are going to be so powerful and they are going to pressurize the government? It's not the case, but some extent because Gopal Krishna Gokhale and all others, the members of Indian National Congress, and they started debating, they started discussing, they asking the question. So maybe this act provided the opportunity for Indians to enter into council. Yes, boys and girls, clear? और भी कोई सवाल पूछना है? अरे पूछ लो यार, सवाल पूछना है, पूछ लो ना, इसमें कोई भी सवाल हो. Yes, Rudra, it is difficult. I know, because I was a student like you and I faced the same problem. And as almost all of us suggested one thing, that is read Grover and Grover. And Grover and Grover book is basically all about the facts. यानी आपको ना तथ्य इतने भरे हुए हैं उसमें कि बहुत बार ऐसा हो जाता है कि हम फ्रस्ट्रेट हो जाते हैं कि कितनी सारी चीजें हम याद रखें, है ना? Am I right or wrong? In Grower and Grower, there are many facts, and sometimes as an aspirant, we consider that, oh, how much facts are there? How much I have to retain? Whether I'm going to retain it or not, that creates a tension as well. And that's why we hated this portion. That's why we hated this. But it is not the case. If you understand the process scenario one by one, and that's why I mentioned the first important thing, that is structure of East India Company in Britain as well as structure of East India Company in India, because everything evolved after that. Clear? Yes, everyone. Yes, I know. अरे आपके तरह ही है यार, आपसे बहुत गए गुजरे लोग थे हम, तो इसीलिए हमें लगा कि चलो भाई कुछ ना कुछ अलग सीखे, ऐसा सीखे कि जो समझ में आए, इसीलिए हमने ये लेक्चर लिया है. नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, इंडियन काउंसिल एक्ट 1909, and as I mentioned earlier also, these three acts, 1909, 1919 and 1935, almost all of us mug up this thing, almost all of us. Why it is so? Because this thing is clash with the polity syllabus, and that's why we love this thing, we read this thing, but still we are not in a position to give the proper answer, exact answer, because of the same रट्टाफिकेशन. रटने की जो हमारी आदत है ना, वो बहुत ही खराब है, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. So, Indian Council Act of 1909, the background is very clear to all of you. The background is provided by Swadeshi movement. Yes, the first important Swadeshi movement, because Swadeshi movement creates the pressure over British government. Next, Morley Minto reforms. This Morley was SOS and Minto was Viceroy. Clear? Morley was SOS and Minto was Viceroy. So they begin the process of reforms, and they said that no, they are going to provide the responsible government in India, means inclusion of Indians. So such kind of things they mention. And This too, that is Swadeshi movement, Morlem into act, and the latter, the third most important thing, that is split in INC, and to moderates, moderates, Indian Council Act was introduced. One more important thing was there, and it is included, that is that is communal movement, pampering the communal. How? How they pampered? That is, you know that Muslim League was formed in 1906 and the beginning of separatist political movement, and Britishers pampered them because of their policy of divide and rule. So these all created the background for Indian Council Act, and you get the expression of it in this act. Indian Council Act, you will get the expression of it. So what kind of thing was there? So the most important facet of this act was basically introduction of direct election. Yes, introduction of direct election through this act. Don't worry, do not take too much tension. I'm going to provide you the information in the slides. Just listen it carefully. I'm going to prepare the background for the next lecture. Yes, everyone. Introduction of direct election. Along with that, introduction of separate electorate. Clear? Separate electorate. Muslims. It was basically their main important intention of divide and rule policy. Clear? Introduction of direct election, introduction of separate electorate. Along with that, yes, along with that, do you have any information related to this act? Expansion of legislative council. Yes, gradually expansion, and as I mentioned, the introduction of direct election, that is more Indians included in that. Clear? Yes, everyone, and this is we can consider it as this act laid the foundation of communalism in India in real sense, though the process of communalism began much earlier. But this act laid the foundation for it because first time it is on black and white. It is on black and white, that is Muslims are separate. They are giving the preferential treatment in India by British government. So exclusive thing. Later on, such type of treatment is given to Sikh, Anglo-Indians, Indian Christians. Yes, and later on, in Act of 1835, such type of treatment was proposed to provide to depressed class. So basically, instead of uniting people, Britishers started their policy of divide and rule. Yes, everyone? Clear? Is that clear to you? Okay, so whatever we have discussed in this lecture is my intention was to discuss the Act of 1773 to 1992, sorry, 1892 in this session only. This Act, Act of 1909, Act of 1919, and Act of 1935, we are going to discuss in the special classes, and the special classes are available on app. Yes, everyone. So Please be there. I'm going to inform you when I'm going to conduct these classes, as I promised that I'm going to discuss the economic portion in special class, as well as I mentioned we are going to discuss the act in special class. So please. Yes, sir. Ankita, what was the process of taking Indians into executive council? It was basically appointment from the side of British government. Viceroy is going to take the decision. Viceroy is going to take the decision for it. No, no, Ashwini, today we are not going to conduct the special classes. Special classes is basically we are going to conduct tomorrow and day after tomorrow. I'm going to let you then know the timing and everything by today evening only. Yes, and I'm going to tell you who were the first person who included in the executive council of Viceroy, who were the person who gave the resignation in the protest. Yes, so don't worry, I'm going to discuss all the aspects of modern India from UPSC civil services point of view, both from prelims and mains point of view. I I can assure you that if you are with me and if you follow whatever I'm going to tell you, definitely you will be in better position in prelims examination as well as in mains examination related to history and whatever the subjects I'm going to teach you. Yes, everyone. So do not miss the Unacademy Combat is there on February 7, 2021 at 11 a.m. So please be there. 45 minutes, 60 questions and 13 combats. Thank you very much for your valuable time, your patience, and yes, the most important thing, that is, if you like the video, please like it. Just one button is there. Like it, share it, subscribe to Unacademy. Yes, your subscription is most important for us. Please subscribe, and whenever you are going to subscribe, use my code HARSHV10 is my code. And most important aspect, that if you are having any problem, any question related to your preparation, please feel free to ask. Why it is so? Because you're not in a position to share your ideas and your views with your family members, with your friends, as well as your colleagues. So it is better to share the ideas with those who already gone from this case. Clear? And these problems were much bigger for you in your particular age. But in my age, it is very simple because we have gone through it and we did the lots of mistake. And remember, particularly me, I did lots of mistake in my life, in my civil services preparation, and that's why I don't want you to repeat the same thing. So that's why if you think, if you are having any question, then you can contact me through Unacademy app, that is Harshvardhan Singh for you, or through Telegram channel Unacademy at Harshv10, or you can connect with me through other social media platform as well. That's all for today's lecture. Thank you very much for your valuable time. Good day, great day, take care, stay safe, and yes, let's crack it.